right? I have to start a watch
Yep,
party from your page.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, hello everyone. My name is Mindy Huff, along with my girlfriend, Miss Nellie Porter,
Hi, everybody.
and we're just here tonight to just have a conversation, just between two girlfriends. But we're inviting you guys in to the conversation, and it's all about emotional wellness. Some of the things that we do, and some of the things that we really encourage others to do in order to maintain a place of healthiness when it comes to emotional wellness. So we want to invite you to leave a comment, and even if it's just anything, just leave a comment. We'll be happy to answer that. We're able to see your comments and engage with you as well. So let's first and foremost kick it off. Why don't you introduce yourself, Nellie, and then we'll go from there.
So I'm Coach Nellie Porter. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in life skill coaching, which is basically stress management, communication, anger management, and conflict resolution. I also do mediation. So I do all things to help people live a better life through communication.
Awesome, awesome. And that's what we need more than ever, right? That's what we need more than
Yes.
ever. One thing I would say, well, just a little FYI. My name is Mindy Huff. I'm a future executive sales director with Mary Kay, but I am also a coach, and I love what I do because I get to work with some phenomenal individuals all across the country and the world. So that's the great thing about it. But being able to, I've always been one who is big on collaboration and really big on communicating. And I just love people. That's the best way of saying it. I love people. But I have over the years mentored and coached hundreds of people, hundreds in my business and outside of my business as well. So this is a great thing. This is why all of us we kind of get together to be able to have this great conversation. So let's just kind of kick it off first and foremost. In your opinion, what would you say is the definition of emotional wellness? What would you say your definition is?
My definition of emotional wellness would be how you respond to stuff as they happen, because that tells
Mm,
a lot in where you're at in your life. You know, as we grow, we're supposed to do things a little bit better. And so if you have a stressful situation, if you could find one little piece of positive to help you
mm,
get through that situation instead of making it such a negative that it affects everything about your being at that time, I think it's kind of like your emotional wellness. How good are you coping with what's going on, especially right now? We have
absolutely.
so many things being thrown at us every day. How are you going to deal with it? And if you find that everything becomes so negative that it affects your being, then we
Mm,
have to take a look and see how you do, how can you change some things or change the way you think, your mindset,
mm.
to make things a little bit easier. Because believe it or not, every one of us, how we react reflects on everybody around us, even when we
Oh,
don't think
mm,
we do. Our energy could
mm,
affect our kids, it could affect our spouses, it could affect our friends. So,
mm.
we got to kind of watch our emotional wellness just as well as everything else with our self care.
Wow, that is so juicy good. That is so true. It does. And one of my mentors that I absolutely adore, her name is Gloria Maple Banks. She's an elite
Yeah.
executive sales director with national sales director with Mary Kay. And one of the things that she taught me years and years ago, she said, Mindy, emotions are expensive. And I was like, okay, so you trying to tell me not to be emotional? She said, no, emotions are expensive. And over the years, I have learned that. And I'll give you a perfect example. You know how in the morning you're on your way to work and you get a call, from the kids or your husband or a family member or something, and it takes your emotions at a high. I mean, you're like mad or frustrated or something, and you would take that from the morning all the way through the day
Yes.
because you have not learned how to compartmentalize the situation. Yes, these are things that happen, but we have to learn how to, just like if you can think of a file cabinet that you can put that in, and I'm going to shut the door, do what I have to do, and then I'll open it back up when
Mm-hmm.
I need to deal with it.
Yes.
Because if you are upset, fussing at the kids first thing in the morning, guess what? You're going to take that to work. It's
Yes.
going to affect people all around you at work and throughout the day. So
Yeah.
you want to learn. One of the things that I've learned a long time ago is how to compartmentalize my emotions.
Yes.
We all hurt. We all deal with anger. We all deal with love. We all deal with joy. We deal with every emotion you can think of, frustration, but we have to learn how to put it in that file cabinet, shut it, and open it up when I need to
Mhm.
deal with it.
And I'm so glad you said that. You have to still open the cabinet.
Absolutely.
We're not telling you to keep it in there because that causes a whole different type of
Mm,
issue. What we're saying is take it out at the right time because timing is everything. And
absolutely.
sometimes, depending on the situation, before you talk to someone, maybe you might want to write it down just
Hmm.
to clear your thoughts because sometimes we could think something is so big, and if you just talk and communicate in the right way, you'd be like, maybe I misunderstood, or maybe that wasn't really a big problem, but at the time it seemed like a big problem. But you still have to take it out the cabinet and address it at some point. Don't let it sit in there like an old file, and then
Absolutely.
something happens and you're like, oh, I remember that,
Hmm.
and then you bring all that old stuff right back in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because what happens is what we don't confront will control us. So
Absolutely.
if you don't deal with the situation, I'm not saying to just completely walk away from it and don't deal with it. Is, what I'm saying is learn that, okay, those emotions that you're feeling frustrated at your kids, taking it to work,
Hmm.
is that productive? It's not. You can put it in the file cabinet, and then when you get back home and you get in front of that child or a spouse or friend or family member, you can open that back up and deal with the situation. Because if you don't deal with it,
Hmm.
it's just going to become a combustion.
Absolutely.
You're going to explode because all this stuff is going to be piling on top. So you definitely want to deal with it. That is for sure.
And you saying that it does cost to be emotional at the wrong time at the wrong place.
Absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
think I'll use me as an example, being a leader in the military, prior leader in the military. I remember one time taking one of my sailors to captain's mast, and I remember my face must have said, I do not agree with what just happened. And I remember my commander also coming to me and saying, like, what is the problem? You didn't agree with what I said? And I was
Mhm.
like, okay, how do I address this right now? Because I really don't agree, but my face and my emotions had showed it all. But I
Mhm.
had to remember what I do don't just affect me; it affects everybody
Absolutely.
that's connected to me. So sometimes
Absolutely.
it will cost you something, and so you have to be mindful of your emotions in certain situations. Because yeah, if you have a boss or
Mhm.
you have
Mhm.
somebody that you're trying to get something done with, and they're like, well, you know what, we can't even talk to this person, or they're just so disagreeable. You're not hurting yourself, you're hurting your whole connection. So you have to be very
Absolutely.
mindful of that.
Oh my gosh. So now you have me going into another realm. Here we go. Here's another realm. Social media. Social media. Oh my gosh. Now, in this climate that we're in, emotions are high. And one of the things that I learned uh, a couple of years ago, when emotions are high, logic is low. we become, the logic is not there because our emotions
Mhm.
are on a 10 and you're not thinking logically.
Yes.
So when it comes to social media, and this kind of goes back to my background of being a ombudsman, as well as as well as being a leadership spouse as well, is that when we get on social media and we get engaged to a sense where your emotions are so high and you hit the send button
Mhm.
to send that, be mindful, because I've seen this and we've seen this in the past couple of months where people have engaged in one way, shape, or another on social media or on different platforms, um, and it gets out there and it may cost you your job,
Absolutely.
that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So, what are some of the things, because we are emotional beings. This is how God created us, right? We are emotional. Yes, God is not telling you not to have these emotions. You need to. Yes, we all have them. We're wired that way. But how? One of the things that I do when it's a situation that my emotions are running high, what I do, I step away
Hmm.
from the situation, allow myself to calm down so that I can become more logical. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So, because I wanna, girl, I'm from
I
Jersey.
know. You know, we have many conversations.
Girl, I'm
We
from
have
the
many conversations.
okay. And sometimes it makes you want to go to the street,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
But try not I try not to do that. I really do. I try to really step away from the situation so that I can allow myself to come down and say, okay, what there's depending on the situation, I'll ask myself, okay, Mindy, what would the powerful you say? Or, okay, Mindy, if the shoe was on the other foot, how would you want that person to respond?
To respond.
So I always take it that way. What say you? What do you
So
do?
for me, I kind of look at it a little bit differently, like especially on social media,
Yeah.
because people put stuff on there, and a lot of stuff that they put, like you said, they didn't even think about it; they just put it. Right
Mhm.
now, with everything, with the elections, with
Mhm.
COVID, everything, right?
Mhm.
There's stuff flying. I like to see the opinions for a couple reasons. When
Mhm.
it pisses me off, I'm like, why is it pissing me off? Is it pissing me off because it's hit me
Huh?
hard? Or
Yeah.
is it now I'm seeing your true colors? And
Exactly.
now I have to roll with you in a whole different realm. So
Mhm.
I don't look at it negative anymore. And I don't even
Mhm.
respond. But if I do respond, I respond in a very
Mhm.
positive way. And
Absolutely.
usually, because this happened to me a couple weeks ago, where some people put some stuff about voting, and I said, the person I told them, you know me for many years. I'm
Mhm.
about being real with you. I'm about being fair, and I treat everybody the same. So
Mhm.
don't put this negative stuff on my page for me to react,
Absolutely.
because that's not my style.
Mhm.
Because everybody has their own opinion at the end of
Mhm.
the day. How I
Mhm.
respond to you makes me have to check myself. What am I responding in such a
Mhm.
crazy way? Because if it's minimum stuff that has nothing to do with me,
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
It's your
Right.
opinion. You
Right.
know, it says
Absolutely.
sticks and stones will break your bones, right? So
That's right.
that takes a level of understanding who you are too. You
Absolutely.
know, because
Absolutely.
Mindy, just like for you in a professional realm, like we say, what we put out there could affect our business.
Mhm.
It could affect how
Mhm.
people treat us in another situation
Mhm.
because you're putting this
Mhm.
stuff. So you got to be careful. If you're looking for a
Absolutely.
job, this ain't the
Absolutely.
time to be fighting with people on social media, because the truth of the matter is, would they really say it in your face if they saw you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also and this is another thing what I have learned also is that it's a difference between reacting and responding.
Mhm.
It really is a difference between reacting and responding. And a lot of times people will poke you or provoke you
Mm-hmm.
to try to have you in this space that takes you out of your own character.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
love what you said. You said you know who you are when you're clear on the person and the person that you are. Never allow someone to
Absolutely.
move you outside of your own character,
Mm-hmm.
who you are.
Yeah.
It's one thing to react, it's another thing to respond. And I'm not saying to water down who you are. Stand in your
Your truth.
truth. You
Yes.
must stand in your truth, but also do it with a level of respect, because everybody doesn't think the way I do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody doesn't do the same things that I do. But you have to respect each other. As long as we can engage in a respectful conversation, it's all good.
Yep.
It's all good.
And that's a key, respect. Because
And
we all don't think alike. We're coming
no,
from a whole different background, a whole different cultural set, so we're
yeah,
not going to think alike. But if I could respect and I could walk away and say, well, okay, I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it.
right, right, right. And but what we're finding is too during this climate is
Yes.
people are showing you who they are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's okay, that the covers are being pulled up, right? It's coming over. People are showing you
Mm-hmm.
who they are, and believe them. You
Because
must
it's in your face.
believe them. And it's because it's so, you know, I've seen some vile things that I would have never thought would have come out of that person.
Mm-hmm.
But what we find is sometimes people will say, "Well, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that." And they got caught, right? But from the abundance of the heart, the mouth
Mm,
speaks.
yes.
So if it came out of there, then and you're now trying to check yourself and say, "I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it." Then you have to really check your heart, and only
Mm-hmm.
only He's the only one that can change the hearts of man. But we need to check ourselves. All of us. We all do.
Mm-hmm.
We all do. Awesome. Yay, this is so juicy good, girlie. All right. So why don't you engage us with a question?
I didn't say it again. I didn't hear you.
I said, why don't you engage us with a
So
question?
I have a question for you. So
Okay.
with everything that's going on today, from the beginning of COVID
Mhm.
to right now where you're at in your life, tell me the things that you are very thankful and grateful for.
Mm, without question, number one, my faith. Really, really thankful that I have a savior that I can go to and um, just be able to pour everything out. He knows me
Mm-hmm.
better than anybody. And number two is my family. Just thankful for family and friends. And um, we have so much to be thankful for. But I truly believe if it's only by the grace of God that I stand, truly, only because of Him and that relationship that I have with Him that keeps me grounded and keeps me standing and know that He's for me. God is
Yes.
never against you. He's not against you. He is for you. He wants the best. And that's the one thing we often see this all the time in Jeremiah when he says, I know the plans that I have for you. And
Yes.
that is the one thing that I'm so grateful and thankful for, that God has a plan for me and a purpose for me. And to be able to, I'm a mom of four. My husband is home. My husband he's retired now, but um, he was active duty for over 30 years. Being able to have him home, because I was on that other side was so hard, where I cannot imagine what, spouses have to go through
Mm,
now, especially in the world
yes.
of COVID. being able, your husband or your spouse is deployed. And the holidays was always the hardest
Yeah.
time for me. Always the hardest time for me when he was deployed. But just to be able to have my family and know that they're okay. Because if they're okay, I'm
You're
okay.
okay.
I'm
Yes.
okay. I'm okay.
Yeah.
So those are the things I'm thankful and grateful.
And I'm with you, but I'm gonna take it a little deeper for you too, because I see so many things going on, and I think sometimes people get a little caught up in, I have this, I have that, I have that, right? And what you said is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely awesome, because I'm with you. God, family, the relationships I have with people. But we
Mm-hmm.
have people out here right now. We have these storms going through these places. We have people with,
Mm-hmm.
no homes, people losing their
Right.
jobs, people losing their stuff. And sometimes we have to go back to the little things and say, like, I'm thankful I have a roof over my head. I'm thankful my kids are here with me. I'm thankful my family is here with me. I'm thankful I have food on the table, or
Absolutely.
whatever you may be thankful for, because at the end of the day, I just kind of look back. I was sitting today thinking about last year, like we had all these plans. We're going to do this. We're traveling
Mhm.
here. We're traveling there, and then COVID happened, and then you're sitting in a house, and then you're like, what really matters at the end of the day?
Amen.
And I
Amen.
think, like right now, we're at a point where relationships and the people that you love, you gotta
Mhm.
tell them you love them.
Mhm.
You got to be
Absolutely.
grateful, because there are people that don't have food on the table.
Absolutely.
They don't know how they're gonna pay their rent,
Mhm.
and we got to start getting into the mindset of helping when we can help.
Absolutely. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, that is
yeah,
that is one of the things I truly, with every fiber in my being, is that we are blessed to
yes,
be a blessing.
yes.
And I I had this conversation because I have young adults, my girls are 20. Well, the youngest is 16, 20. Well, she'll be
You got to think
25.
about it now,
Yeah,
Mindy.
she'll be 25 and then 30. So all of them are here. And some of them were, they're all in their careers, and I'm very thankful that we have our family unit here. And one of the things they share with me was like some of their coworkers, because of COVID, they had to lost their homes, lost their apartments, that sort of thing, and didn't have someone. They didn't have a family member that they can come and have that help. And I said, what a blessing to
Yes,
know that you
yes,
have a place to put your head,
yes.
lay your head down. Food, you don't have to worry about opening up the refrigerator if
Hmm.
nothing is in there. It's just something. I think if we just all go to this place of gratefulness,
Yes,
thankfulness,
yes.
there's always somebody worse.
Hmm.
Someone else is worse, but also be in this place of giving back, doing some what even if I was raised on that family unit, because we have family members that came and stayed with us. If we had food, you had food.
Yeah.
That was just it. If I had a piece of bread, you gonna get half of it. That was the thing.
Hmm.
And my hope is that it hasn't
Exactly. Yeah.
eroded. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
my hope that it has this during this time. It will allow people
Hmm.
to move back in that place, because we're seeing more and more people struggling, more and
Yes.
more homeless, a lot of homeless, and
Hmm.
that just it really moves me. That's why I do a lot of donation, a lot of volunteering in that particular capacity, in the
Hmm.
capacity that I hold as a sales director. I'm able to do that. But even if you're not in a space financially, just a simple hi, how you doing?
Yes.
Working on you. That
Yes.
sort of thing. Just an emotional thing.
Yes.
Just to be able to tell, well, I was just thinking about you. I pray all is well. Those things make a difference. That's
Yeah.
something that money can't buy.
Can't buy.
Money
Yeah.
can't. Yeah.
And that's kind of what my thing was hitting on is the things that money don't can't buy that we need to be grateful for. You know,
Absolutely.
and reaching out to people like this is a time where we're not guaranteed tomorrow. I mean,
You better say it.
there are people that didn't think that COVID would have hit them
Mhm.
on their feet that hard, you know,
Mhm.
and they're gone. So if you
Absolutely.
have people in your life today, you need to pick the phone up and just say, "Hey, I'm thinking
Yeah,
about you.
that's
Hey,
it.
how you doing?" Because that little conversation could bring somebody's spirit so high that you don't even
Absolutely.
realize that you're important to somebody.
Absolutely. And I wanna speak to those that are out there like, well, nobody is coming and checking on me, and well, nobody is doing that, so why should I reach out? I would say this: if you want more love, you gotta give it.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you want more people to check on you, start checking on others. It's like what you sow. Those are seeds that
That
you
you,
sow.
yeah.
And if you say, well, I don't have anybody, yes, you do. You have a neighbor, you have a coworker, anybody that you are connected with in one way, shape, or form. Just a simple, how you doing? Just checking on you, and just seeing how's the family, how you doing, and it makes a world of a difference. You never know. God may send you to
Hmm.
be a blessing to someone, just to pick them up, just to pick them up. Yeah. So get
Yes. Having
excited.
a heart of gratitude.
Oh yes, especially when we're ready to go into Thanksgiving this season, and my heart is really, really, really moved because so many people, especially because of this pandemic, are going to be. It's going to be an empty seat at the table this year, and I want us to be thankful. Just be mindful of that.
Mhm.
Have some form of compassion and thinking about others. And I think that's what we need more of.
Yes.
Can I be a blessing to somebody else? If you need, I remember one year I just cooked a whole. I love to cook. I love to cook. So, well, not really, but I can cook. So one year I didn't have a lot of money, but what I could do was cook. So I cooked a whole Thanksgiving meal for my family, but also for this other family, and was able to deliver it to them. And this was my way of, because I don't think anybody should. We are all thankful for
Yes.
something, and it's my prayer that people take advantage and really give back, make a difference. How can I be a blessing to somebody
Hmm.
else? It's not meant for you to just have it and
For
hold it all.
you.
How can I give
Mhm.
back and make a difference?
I think to my prayer also, if you know you need help, like this is my thing on friends. If you're
Mm-hmm.
my friend, I don't need you in good times too. I need you in my
I
bad
know.
times.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
tell people, if you're my friend, I'm gonna call you in my bad times because that's
Mhm.
when I need you most. And a lot of times we don't like, and I'm talking about your ride or die friends, not
Right.
the people you just say friends like they're your sister or your brother,
Right. Right.
but not from the same mother.
Right. Right.
If I'm in need and I call you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling you because I need you. That's when I need my friendship to mean something. And you should feel the same with me. And I think a lot of
Absolutely.
times we want to not tell people, oh, I'm going through something or I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
You never know we're here to help. We're people. We're supposed to be here for each other and stop
Absolutely.
hiding behind this facade that I got it together when you don't. Because
Yeah.
every one of us at some point in our lives needed somebody. And I'm
Absolutely.
grateful for the people that were there when I needed them. So,
Mhm.
like you said, it's for me, my heart is open. If you need it, I got it, you got it.
Mhm.
Your friends are
Absolutely.
there for they're there in your life for a reason,
Mhm.
not just to
Mhm.
laugh and joke. Sometimes you might need a cry, ugly cry. put
Mm-hmm.
the book on their shirt because you cry so
That's
hard, and they should be able to
and you
understand
do it.
that.
That's right. That's
Yes,
the
friends
and
are there for a reason.
and this is my prayer because a lot of people say, what about the people who can say, well, may say, well, I don't have that. I don't have anybody that I can go to or I can have that kind of conversation with. Um, my prayer is that there is no greater gift than to have a girlfriend that
Mhm.
you can call on. I don't care what time of night,
Yeah.
what's going on, and you say, I need you, and she's there.
Yep.
No questions, nothing. And I've always told my girls that that's the greatest gift you can
Hmm.
have is that kind of friend. That
Yes.
they're not going to judge you. They're not going to tear you down. They're going to be like, I got you. Because I have
Hmm.
girlfriends like that. Girl,
Yes.
I'll be
Yes.
like, okay, send me money or do this or do that because it's mutual. I'm not, they know they
Absolutely.
can come to me and I can go to them and
Hmm.
I'll be ready to throw down if we got to. You ain't got to tell me who. I'll throw down,
Let's
okay?
go. They say we'll hide the body. We'll never tell nobody.
Listen, I done looked at enough lifetime to know how to get away with it, okay? So you have to have those kind of friends.
Hmm.
And I thank you for that because I know we started off, it was because you and my husband, y'all work together, y'all both were
Hmm.
CMCs, and then I don't know, we just started
We just click.
customer, and then we connected, and it's like now we are friends, and it's a blessing to have that.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
call on my girlfriend, and be like, hey, what's going on?
And the sad part, it don't even matter what's going on. You'd be like, Nelly, I'm here. What you need? I'm with it. We don't
I
even have to give me
know.
an explanation because I know when you come to me, you come into me legit every time. So I don't
Absolutely.
have to question, well, what is she? Nah, we don't even have to roll like that. That's not.
No, no,
That's good to have. It's absolutely good to have.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. And it's my prayer that those who are listening to this forecast or even listening to the replay, you can listen to the replay, that you go to a place of thankfulness and gratefulness. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how bad it is. Just it's something. It's always a rainbow amongst the clouds. Always. Maya Angelou, one of my
Yeah.
favorites. Always a rainbow amongst the clouds.
Yeah.
So we are thankful and grateful that you tuned into this conversation. And we pray that you be blessed. And
Yeah.
we'll take it from there. All right,
Yeah.
girl. See you
See you later.
later. Bye bye.
Bye. Everybody have a good one.
Yes. And have a blessed Thanksgiving.
Yes. Yes.